quite an event. I suppose the first one in Letterkenny, obviously off the back of this, the motivation was to get going again, but back in the Fun Valley probably makes it a wee bit extra special.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of history here, and it's great to have this man beside me, Patsy McGonagle, give us our first little break here with the boxing club. Jeez, God knows how many years ago now that was, do you know what I mean, in one of the wee back rooms, and the club just grew and grew, and you know, I suppose that for myself as well, it gave me the opportunity to train in full-time facilities, and this here has so many memories from winning my national titles, medals, homecomings, training down there, fighting down there. It has a massive meaning to come back here and to be, I suppose you could say as well, like this is first time in history professional boxing's ever come to the Twin Towns battlefield in Stranorlar, and it's no better venue to have it.
And even the scale like of where you fought under and the people you've worked with, like the logistics of those shows and what you've learned and maybe picked up with some of those promoters, like bringing it back, it's very organic because it's such a local, you know, and national Irish feel to this year. Do you appreciate like the headaches some of those guys would have had back then, because now it's in your hands organising these kind of things?
Absolutely. I really appreciated my managers and promoters a lot more now than maybe I did whenever I was fighting, so lads, just appreciate the work of me done. But no, look, it's fantastic, and the main reason that I really want to chat on this today as well is because it's about breaking a mould up here in Donegal. Do you know what I mean? Professional boxing isn't something that happens here regularly. It happens in the UK, it happens in Belfast, Dublin, a lot more regularly over in the States, but it's the production that actually makes the shows. Like that venue that we're having here is better than some venues that Matchroom has been to, Queensbury has been to, can hold sometimes more people than they have had in their shows. It's about breaking the mould, and people just don't put professional boxing and the Fun Valley Centre together because it's never happened. Yeah. So this is something, I'm not just here to put on a show now and to let these fighters start growing their careers here just to get in and out and tick it off the list. Like this is something that I'm planning to grow for years and years to come. Like I'm pretty young in the management and promotional side of things, and I have many years left, many more bits of energy left in me and this side of the sport as well. And as it says, it's key now to break the mould. That professional boxing is in Donegal, it is happening, and it's not a small show, it's not a small event, it's proper professional boxing. When you look at the talent of the fighters that's going to be on this card, these fighters are going to go on and bring titles back home to this county and this country, and I genuinely believe that. I'm not trying to do a whole Eddie Hearn spin on it and bigging it up, like, but these lads are talented fighters, and they can go on and do great things in boxing, and they can bring great things back here and make this a hub for professional boxing.
You made a good point there, like the quality's there in the ring, but sometimes the bells and whistles that are around it, we've seen that in Letterkenny, you know, the vignettes, the professional of the setup, you know, the music, the lighting and all that there. If it's an event that people come out of curiosity first time around, but actually enjoy it, you know, and the occasion, like those same people now will be making a short distance up to Letterkenny, or sorry, the Ballyfay to see this one as well.
Absolutely, like that is what it's about. It's about the journey, it's about the process, because these lads now, you know, Danny had a very entertaining last fight. I think it was fight of the night, and that's why he wanted to announce as well that Danny's going to be the main event on February 21st. He's going to headline his first show, and you know that's going to be start of a great thing for him. He's just, you know, creeped ahead of Cathal here in a couple of fights. I think there's a wee bit of banter going back and forth there with the two lads, but you know, this is the journey, and this is what it's all about. It's about seeing these young fighters, you know, in their first fight and being in an entertaining fight, maybe being knocked down, maybe getting back up, and you know, following their journey and knowing that, geez, these lads are only down the road, and this, like, Danny works for O'Neill's there and things like that. Like these lads are, you know, they're homegrown, and you can be a part of that journey. And then for Aodhan here as well, who's making his professional debut, has a lot of connections here to Ballyfay and Stranorlar and Donegal. Like, I had Aodhan around the Mad Hatter there and for a coffee one day, and people was just asking about him, and oh Jesus, you know, that was the start where they were introduced to him, they spoke to him, and now they're going to go and see him fight here on February 21st and be like, oh, that's the lad I seen down for a coffee and that. Do you know what I mean? And that there is what it's about. And the person that sticks into my mind a lot for that is Josh Warrington.
Yeah.
He did it he won his Central Area title, he won his English title, British, Commonwealth, European and World title.
Yeah.
And you look at that man, the following that he had throughout his career, the tickets that man could sell, and that's what these fighters need to understand as well. It's about bringing that support, selling those tickets, because at the end of the day, that's what gets you to the next level as well. You can be as talented as you want, you can be, you know, as good as you want in the ring, but if you can sell tickets and if you can be entertaining, that is what's going to get you the opportunities on these bigger cards and the opportunities to fight for titles and bring them back here to your home soil.
Just the last one for me, like reading different people online or even in print, like good boxing writers just about where Irish boxing currently is, even boxing on the whole, like are these sort of, again using the word organic or homegrown shows, are they the way forward? Because a bit like the Premier League and even boxing, I think at its highest, people are a bit disillusioned. Look, you know, the events aren't in Las Vegas anymore, they're not even in Wembley Stadium, they're in these, you know, sort of sanitised environments where money's talking loudest. Like, are these sort of or organic fields, you know, they're visceral in that there and you're sweating about it, but like, this is probably the way forward for a lot of people that maybe have fallen out of love with boxing at a certain level, because you're seeing lads that are actually doing it for the love of the sport. Yeah, like it's like anything, and I think, you know, the GA, the soccer, and you know, it's all very commercialised. You know what I mean? Like each. Like I'm nervous for, and I'd rather go and watch Van Harps now because I know why they're doing it there as opposed to And it's like it's just you know, and you look, you are media, you are interviewers, you know the crack. Like you go up and chat to football players, soccer players, whatever, and you could nearly tell their answer before they actually answer it. Like, you know, I think it's very commercialised, where boxing has that little bit of an X factor. I think, like, you don't know what some of these lads are going to go out and say. It's an individual sport. You know, they're not worried about letting their team down by what they say. They own what they say and they have to back it up. And I think that's what makes boxing, you know, stand out that wee bit more than a lot of these other sports that you know take over in the county and in Ireland. Like the GAA is massive. Like, do you know what I mean? The following is unbelievable, and it's something to be, you know, very proud of. I think in Ireland that we have such a following behind a national sport that no other country has. But I think that Ireland has always been very enriched with boxing throughout the years, and everybody can relate to boxing, whether you're 6-7 figures in your bank account, whether you have nothing in your bank account, whether, you know, you're just average Joe along the street, or you're travelling the world with whatever you do in life. Everybody can relate to boxing. Everybody knows what it's like to struggle. Everybody knows what it's like to fight for something and to earn something in life. So I think that's, you know, where boxing has that little bit of an edge, is that it's a very individual sport, and these lads have great personalities. How many bouts on the night, or what are we looking at here? There's going to be 8 professional bouts on the night, and there's going to be 2 amateur exhibitions. Amateur exhibitions are vital to my my vision moving forward, is that I never had the opportunity to watch professional boxing. I never had the opportunity. Every time you were in professional boxing, you had to go to Dublin, Belfast, or even further afield, and you know, and it cost money, flights, hotels, everything like that. Whereas I want to show these young lads now and let them feel it. Like the young lads that are fighting as the amateur bouts, they're good, local, young, up and coming fighters that could potentially become professionals and headline shows down the line as well. Like, so 8 professional fights, 2 amateur exhibitions. And tickets, is it just logging online? And tickets are sold out. It's a great thing to say. It's a great thing to say, but you know, it's like anytime I meet somebody. Anytime that I meet somebody on the street or something that you know, and they're like, "Oh, geez, what's coming to fight? Hey, you had me a ticket." I'm like, you know, it is fantastic. It's great, and you know, it's something that's just going to build and grow. The only way you can actually get tickets now is some of the fighters might still have tickets left. Like some of the lads might have a few tickets left. I know some of them don't have tickets left either, and some of them's asking me for more tickets. So look,
the demand's there, which is great and which shows that there's a future here and that it's going to be continuous. So anybody looking for tickets, just reach out if you're the fighters on the card and they might have one or two spare. Like.
Perfect. And just on that point, Jason, you know, since the whole idea was hatched of bringing pro boxing here to the Twin Towns, you know, the feedback from the local clubs, and you've touched on it there, you know, be it Dunlow or Carrigart, I mean, to have something here in the Northwest, you didn't have that opportunity. How have you found the feedback? Is it better than you would have even expected?
Yeah, for here, it's actually been a lot more. It's been a lot more talked about to myself in person than the one that I ran in Nara. You know, the amount of local people that are coming up to me saying, geez, the show's on, when's it on now, how many weeks is it, and who's fighting, and all this kind of carry on. Like the interest has been a lot more significant for this than the last one that I had in the Ara, which is great, and obviously it's a lot more local here, there's a lot more meaning behind it. But yeah, the feedback's been amazing for here, and it's great. Like.
And again, it's an example of having belief, no matter what sport you're in. Just because you're from West Donegal or West Tyrone doesn't mean you can't go all the way to the highest stage.
That's it, like, and you know, look, I don't want to put this back on me or anything, but like there's no professional boxing really when I was coming through, like, and I was lucky to get the opportunity to go away to America and do that, but like, would I have got as far as I got, or would I have got the opportunities that I got if I hadn't moved away to America and did things like that? More than likely not. And that's where I want to, you know, show these young lads now that it's not easy being a professional boxer. Like, the majority of professional fighters are still working their jobs during the day, and then, you know, training at night time, training before work in the morning, selling tickets, and, you know, they're all striving for that break to where they can go in and tell their boss, or, you know, that's damn funny. I'm a full-time boxer, I'm a professional athlete now, and they are professional athletes, but they're even more professional athletes sometimes mentally, because they have to go to a job, they have to be disciplined, they can't just go train and come back, sleep, rest, recover.
The guys taking part that this is going to create.
Yeah, it's like, as it says, this is something that's going to be ran regularly now in the area and in Donegal. So this is the chance now for them to really start building their following, to start building that journey and getting people on board the journey that they're going to become champions. Do you know what I mean? This is for them now to be able to say, so for Aodhan there making his pro debut, somebody's going to see him now, they mightn't have heard tell of him, and see him down here in the Finn Valley, and in 10 fights time he could be fighting for his first title and being like, geez, I remember watching him on his pro debut in the Finn Valley Centre. So this is where the journey happens, and this is where people start to get on board, and I think that it's going to be a great following. Like, if it's anything like the following that I had myself, you know, from the community in the local area, it's been phenomenal. So fingers crossed everybody gets behind these young animals now and see the future for them.
And finally, just in terms of arranging the bouts, like, how much work did you have to put in behind the scenes to actually get the pairings together? Yeah,
like, if I had of knowing all the work that actually was in it, I don't know what I started it all up at the start, like, but, you know, I'm very lucky, you know, I have a great team around me, you know, Sheer Sports as well. Look, we're not only just here in Donegal and Ireland and Europe, like, we're over in America as well. We have a massive team around us. We have Roberto Diaz, who was a former matchmaker and manager of many world champions and worked with Golden Boy for years, and that's where me and his relationship came from. And then we have Ken Shear and Lyle Green, who's the owners of the company as well, and, you know, the backing behind the company. We have a massive team over in the States. We have a team here as well. You know, every little bit helps. So it is. We have Cliff Thompson down there in Meath doing a lot of work for us as well and helping us out. My wife April, Chris, Patsy, everybody, you know, locally.
So it's that whole network.
It can't be done without them. Like I would start pulling my hair out if I had to do some of the ticket stuff that April had. Like, I'm just like, you take care of that, you know what I mean? And then Chris with the media and stuff, like, you know, getting that exposure with all those contacts and everything. It's just vital. And Patsy and the team here in the Finn Valley, you know, making things so accessible, so easy, and so easy to chat about. You know what I mean? You're not afraid to ask a question to offend anybody in here. Like, you know what I mean? It's a great dynamic that we have, and it can't be done without every single person in it. So I'm really lucky with the help that I have as well, because it can't be done without it.
Patsy's sort of mentioned in the past, you know, about there's places in Donegal where people are stepping through the net athletically wise, like maybe it doesn't, like there's pockets around the county. Like, do you think that in boxing too, there's untapped there, like I would have seen like the Killybegs and Duffy clubs fold in the last 20 years, like do you think like there's potential out there, like will this bring eyes, and maybe people in the, you know, the scarcer parts of the county might think, oh geez, I might fancy travelling to Donegal town. It's 40 minutes away, it's a boxing club in Dunlow maybe, but I wouldn't mind a part of that there.
Absolutely, like that's the goal. You know, I don't like bringing any negativity on anything, but like, you know, I think facts and reality has to be said too, that I just don't think that boxing is in the brightest place in Donegal right now in terms of what's coming through, and that's no offence to any of the good young lads that is coming through. There is plenty of them, but you know, I remember, you know, you going back 10 years ago, you know, 10, 15, 20 years ago, when there was just national title being reeled off, you know, people going away representing Ireland. I know there's fantastic talent still here. You know, there's a young local girl winning a European title. There's Matthew McCole, who's the elite champion, like, and we Kevin Conley, who's going to be on this card as well. Like, and this isn't, you know, ditching anything that they're doing. This is just saying that, like, I feel that there's so much more room for growth in Donegal, and of course it's professional boxing that I'm doing, but amateur fighters, that's where the base is, and that's where it starts to grow, and that's where you learn your fundamentals, that's where you learn your discipline, that's where you learn to get beat and to come back again and keep your head up and just keep driving and pushing forward. Like, so that is the main and ultimate goal of this whole thing, is to really grow boxing up here in Donegal, but not only Donegal, in Ireland as well. And but firstly, take care up here in Donegal and get some good champions coming through, and get that little bit of appetite going again as well.
Is Lara Kenny involved with the places to hold future events? Like, or would you ever think of, like, I know you've family and that, you know, have you ever thought about maybe a Donegal town or something?
Absolutely, like, I'm wide open, and I've had a few conversations with different venues, outdoor arenas as well. I think would be something very good in the summertime. We have 3 dates this year penciled in. We have February 21st now, we have May 30th, and we have October 17th. Could potentially slip another 1 or 2 in there if things fall into place, but my most important thing is getting these fighters out, keeping them active, and getting them the exposure that they need, and just keeping them building and growing. As a professional boxer early in your career, you need to be active, you need to be in the gym knowing when the date's coming up, when you're fighting. So that's the real goal, and that's the real aim over the next decade, even, you could say. Like,
I suppose just on that, and in terms of the exposure, Chris, you were talking about, just before we break into the one-to-ones, just probably to give you a bit of an introduction to the 3 guys that we have here. We have Aodhan Byrne, who's from Kilcullen in County Kildare, but very much at home here in Ballybofey. A lot of family connections here in Ballybofey. 2 guys over here, graduates of a full boxing club. Cathal who's 2-0, Danny who's 3-0. And I suppose the beauty about this allows them to train at home in Rufo as well, still training under Gary and Jerry and the lads down there, so it keeps, and also training together and kind of being in camp and all that together. So just, I suppose, Aodhan, to give the guys I suppose a bit of an introduction to yourself. From Kildare, but this is very much a home debut of sorts for you.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Kildare, but my mum was behind me there. She's from Ballybofey, she's 2 minutes up the road, so when Jason came knocking there after Christmas, I won a national title in my senior championships there in November. Jason came knocking about signing on, and I thought Ballybofey is nearly like a homecoming to start off. I'm up here every second weekend, to be honest. I spent half the time in the car, but yeah, so I was always kind of knocking about going professional, probably more so last year, and then I said I would get a national title under my belt and ready to go then. Yeah, that's very much.
You got the news out about turning pro, and good to get the debut nice and quickly.
Yeah, so I think I was I talked about what December time I said I would go pro, and then February 21st was thereabouts. I actually heard about it through the grapevine in the morning of my national semi-final, and it was probably because I was making weight, but I says, I'm gone now, I'm gone, no more same day weigh in. So yeah, February 21st was there and I was ready to go.
And how's camping going for you so far?
Good. To be honest, I'm never really out of camp. We have quite a professional setup down in Unit 3. There's a few of us there. Gary Cully's a pro there, Kelsey Leonard who's doing big things, so I'm never really out of camp. I mean, since I went to college I've been training like a full-time athlete, and I think it's showing now. Of knockouts in amateurs, and I can't wait to put the small gloves on and do the same. Yeah.
What can the fans expect to see from you on Byrne?
I think I really catch fire as a professional. I believe I have an entertaining style, and sometimes people would call it a little bit flashy, but it's just the way I'm a bit creative and I express myself. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it now, and I believe as a professional I'll really catch light. This game is about entertaining, and I believe I am an entertainer.
Aodhan, obviously, Jay touched on the fact of having amateurs involved. You obviously boxed as an exhibition in the last card. Did that turn your head more? The fact that you were second to turning pro, you then seen what the pro setup was like before you then decided to take some rest?
It was every aspect of it as well. I mean, I took tickets off Jay and went to sell them as a professional, so I got experience in selling tickets. Probably the best part of it was I weighed in the day before too. So yeah, it was definitely something that I wanted to do, and when I heard about it, I really was on to Niall to try and get me onto it. And look, I think I caught eyes that night, and it's probably the reason I'm sitting here as a professional boxer as well. Like, just the experience of even wearing the shorts and stuff. I believe I'm made for it, and that night showed me that I am. Yeah.
Cathal, what about yourself back in action now? Looking forward to, I suppose, getting a bit of momentum going again?
Looking forward to getting back at it. Obviously I missed out on the last one. I was there watching, obviously I was buzzing that night, but I just didn't feel right, so I'm just looking forward now to getting back in. Want to be as active as possible and just try to rack up a few wins, and hopefully then get a big fight or go for a title or something, but we'll see.
And there's plenty of opportunities for the likes of yourself, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Definitely, there's loads of fights there. Obviously, loads of shows coming up, and I just want to keep active now, keep in the gym, and keep busy. That's it. Looking forward to it.
And how's your prep been going so far?
It's been going good. It was good week sparring there. I had loads of sparring, loads of training. Diet maybe it could be tidied up, but we'll get there. I should be good on fight night, so I'm looking forward to it.
There's not probably too many pro boxers get to spar with their manager. Do you kind of get if he does something wrong, you get to throw a few shots at him?
Well, I'm not going to land a few hits. It's good. It's not good at the time, but it's good to learn then after, being in the ring with someone who's obviously been there and done it at the highest level. Like, it's good. You'll not get no harder sparring, like, and it's good for your mind then too. You just know your opponent's not going to be as good as for your sparring.
And Aodhan mentioned it there about like the entertainment side of it, and that's definitely something you've always kind of subscribed to as well.
Yeah, so just like the whole, all your friends coming out watching you and trying to put on a show and the ring walks. It's just a whole different thing than amateur. Like, enjoy it.
Does it feel a blur to you? You obviously boxed in the last exhibition for the last time they were the card before turning pro.
Yeah.
Is that blur to you feeling back to that? Because obviously Aodhan's just boxing in an exhibition and now going to fight as a pro for the first time as well. Like, do you remember that buzz of feeling what the pro style was all about?
Yeah, so that's what sort of gave me the buzz for it as well. Just getting in, doing the walk, the music, all your friends being there. It's like a proper big occasion. Like, so that sort of encouraged me to go one day pro then, like, as well.
And Danny, I suppose, chatting about exciting fights, you were in the fight of the night at the Aodhan back a couple of months ago. How do you feel coming out of that one?
I was buzzing with it, and buzzing out of headlining for a show back here, 20 minutes from my house, so I couldn't ask for much more, but hopefully I'll just be Friday night again.
Tell us about that feeling. Like, I mean, guys kind of have to go here and go there for pro boxing shows, but not only have you a fight 20 minutes up the road, the chance to headline it, like, what does that feel for you?
I a lot of tickets. I'll be expecting a big crowd, big support hopefully. I couldn't ask for anything else. Like you know.
Extra pressure.
Nah, I wouldn't say pressure. I'm just looking forward to the night, getting on there, getting going.
Danny's one of these boys that he's so quiet, and you wouldn't hear him walking into the room, walking out of the room. And I remember when he fought down in Waterford. That was your pro debut, wasn't it? Yeah. So he fought down in Waterford in his pro debut, and real quiet, getting into the ring. Next thing he's in, he just starts letting his hands go, makes his opponent miss, starts showboating, looking out over the ring. I was just like, I really see Danny come alive once he gets into the ring. Like he's, the way he's improved and progressed over the last year or so, it's been unbelievable. It really has, and I'm really excited for Danny now in his next couple of fights, really, because we really want to get Danny lined up now for Celtic Irish titles and push on in maybe into bigger UK domestic fights and everything like that, because he has all the potential, and it's just about these lads starting to believe it now as well. Like up until, was it your last fight or fight before that, you never even sparred a professional.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like he was a professional fighter and never even sparred a professional, and this is why now locally it's getting appetising, because you have young Callum Bradley up there in Omagh, you have Rhys Owens up there in Omagh, in Enniskillen, who are all starting to come down into the Rafo area as well, start sparring together, start training together, and these is pros all in the same stage of their careers where they're training together, fighting together, making weight together, all on the same journey together, and it just breeds success for them then when they're all in the same appetite. They're all working towards the same goal, and they're all getting quality top class work with each other as well, and it's all local, it's all driving distance for them. So that's something that's really starting to take off here now as well, and with Aodhan being up here as well most weekends, every second, third weekend as well, like he can start integrating with them and start doing bits of sparring and training, and I really see a massive future over the next couple of years up around this area for professional boxing.
He's not here, and it's a pity he's no longer with us. I just wonder what wee Peter O'Donnell would think about it a second show. I'd say he'd be very proud of you.
Like wee Peter would be just, he'd be buzzing, like, do you know what I mean? And you definitely miss him in the gym, lads, don't you? Like, you'd be down there and you'd be warming up, like, you'd be warming up in the ring, or you'd be just putting on your gloves or something, and wee Peter come up, you want to drop a tie there, young Quigley, or you want to drop it? Like, it was just the way that he had about him, like, it was, and he just loved the boxing, like, there's nobody doesn't know that, like, he loved boxing, and he loved the lads just getting in there and getting opportunities and fighting, and, we all know he'd be looking down on the show now and making sure everything goes well for us, hopefully, but he'd be front and centre of every show, so he would, and he'd be sadly missed now in any stage of boxing that goes on without the country.
Well, just before we rise, Patsy, for yourself, you've been, I suppose, to the world's biggest stages in terms of Olympics and World Championships and all, but bringing something like this now home to the Finn Valley, what does this feel for yourself in the Finn Valley Centre?
It's exciting for us, and it's another activity, but it's another activity with a full house, with an unbelievable atmosphere. It creates challenges which we haven't dealt with before, and we want to support Jason in every way we can. We want to support these young lads, and that's foremost. And as compliments to Jason that he's moved on from his career, from being a young fella here, boxing locally. He's been here as an amateur, boxing in there, and we had enjoyable nights, of course we had, but this is special. This is absolutely special, and we're so delighted to be able to be associated with this and to support this in every way we can, and to support Jason particularly, because he's been part of this. I mean, we used to always gather here for all of his fights abroad, and a memorable morning here was when he fought in Kazakhstan for the world title, of course, amateur title at that particular time. We'll never forget that. But some of the things that he just said, you know, just hit with me straight away. You know, he's trying to create an environment. He's indicated that there are enough boxers to create that environment, and if the Revolt Boxing Club is to be the centre and nucleus, that would be sensible. That would be really a positive thing, and just to encourage something like that, because you know it's a fact that bringing boys together, feeding off each other, buzzing off each other, learning off each other in the one location. So I can see what Jason's trying to do here, and I compliment him for that as well, because that's thinking outside the box, and it's thinking outside the box that's thinking that needs to be done. And yes, Donegal, you know, you can do it anywhere. You can do this stuff anywhere. You know, just because it's Donegal, that makes it more exciting, and that's why you want it to be positive, and that's why it's important that you guys from the media are here. And I want to thank you very, very much, because without you getting that story out, it wouldn't impact as much. And we would be most grateful to yourselves for coming along on a bank holiday Monday and giving it a keep, because doing it and keeping it quiet's not the way to go, because Jason wants to drive this on, and he was driven himself, and I'm so pleased to see that beyond his career he continues to be driven. He brings a personality and a skill of communication that's going to be key to this. So you know, we're always behind him, and we're looking forward to this, and we'll help him in every way we can. And we're grateful as well that he's brought it to here to Ballybofey, because we kind of extol the fact that this is the sporting capital of the county. You know what I mean? So if it's going to happen, it has to happen in Ballybofey, Stranorlar, because look around you at the issues with the Harps and Donegal playing and all the rest of it. So it's boxing as well. And there was a serious amateur boxing club here at a time. He was a product of that. But we're looking, you know, you can get my message. We're looking forward to it big time, and we just wish Jason the best, and we'll do our bit to make sure that it's successful as well.
Perfect, guys. And these ones, any one-to-ones now before we go, just
before we finish up as well, I just want to say a massive thank you to the sponsors for the show as well. Anne-Marie McGeechan there, Right Financial, O'Reilly, Stephen and Marty over there as well, and Our King's Competitions, because without that kind of stuff as well, like, these shows can't go ahead. It's a massive cost that goes into run the professional boxing event, through getting opponents in and production, everything like that there. So massive thank you to the sponsors who are continuing to support us and continuing to support that journey that I have kind of planned out as well, and just want to say a big thanks to them, and keep up the support. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, guys.